The movie begins with a swimming pool inside a house. In the dark night, only the lights inside the pool illuminate the surroundings. Suddenly, a toy boat pops up from the water surface. A little girl who is asleep in her room wakes up and looks out of her room and notices the toy boat inside the pool. She quickly recognizes the boat to be her brother's boat, which was lost a few days ago. She quickly runs to her brother's room, who is sleeping on a patient bed. The little boy is terminally ill and is hospitalized at home. The young girl, Rebecca, whispers to her brother that she has found his boat, but there is no response from her brother. She promises to bring his boat back to him and goes out to get the boat from the pool. In the dark night, Rebecca takes the net and walks over to the pool. She tries to use the net to grab the floating boat, but no matter how much she tries, the boat keeps getting out of her reach. Without her realization, she is already standing at the edge of the pool. She still tries to use the net and scoop out the boat, but a sudden force hits her, and she falls into the pool. She feels a pressure pulling her down, and while she is going down into the pool, she notices a figure standing by the edge of the pool. She fights back the water currents and swims to the edge. But after she comes to the surface, the figure that she thought was her mom is gone. Rebecca decides to get out of the pool and go back inside the house. Before she can get out of the pool, the boat that she was looking for comes to a stop on the surface with a pop. She looks back and feels conflicted. Remembering her promise to her brother, she lets go of the edge and swims towards the boat. But as soon as she grabs it, an unknown force pulls her inside the water. She struggles and tries to come up to the surface, but the force keeps pushing her inside. She desperately cries and screams for help, but no one comes to stop her rescue. In the end, the little girl drowns and dies a tragic death. Years later, at the present day, a family are visiting new houses for rentals. The realtor Ray shows them a few houses, but the family consisting of Ray, Eve, and their children Elliot and Izzy are unfazed by the houses. The realtor calls them the Waller family. Ray looks around the house and doesn't like the interior. Ray walks around with a crutch, indicating that he had an accident that caused him to be unable to walk properly. In the past, Ray used to be a baseball player, but due to an accident, he was unable to play baseball anymore. After the family sees the rental house, they go back to their car disappointed that they haven't found their ideal house. They are driving back when Ray suddenly notices a big house for sale. The house catches his attention, and Ray decides to check it out with his family. His family enters the house, and the spacious interiors quickly catch their attention. The family quickly takes a liking to this house. The realtor Kay, who was accompanying the family earlier, also arrives there and explains that this house is only for sale, which is why she thought the family wouldn't be interested in it. Kay explains that this house only had a single owner from the last few decades, which piques Eve's interest. Since the place is closer to their children's school, Eve feels that this house can be a good deal for her. Eve and Ray decide to give the house a try and look around in it. Ray walks to the backyard and sees a pool. Eve joins him and sees a pool covered by a sheet of mold and cover. She checks the water and finds it super moldy. Ray finds the pool a nice addition to the house, and the couple feels good about the house. Eve goes inside to meet the realtor, and Ray is about to follow her when he notices a baseball inside the water. He sits down near the pool and tries to stop reaching it, but suddenly he falls inside the pool. Ray struggles to get out of the pool. The cover on the pool keeps tangling around him, which gets Ray stuck underwater. Suddenly, Ray remembers about his baseball life and imagines that he is making his debut in baseball after all these years. He quickly snaps out and swims to the surface. He quickly gets out of the pool. After his family notices him, they quickly rush to his aid. After Ray is pulled out, something from inside the water looks at them without the family noticing it. This is the same pool that drowned the little girl all those years back. The next day, Ray and Eve go to the hospital for Ray's checkup. Ray's doctor informs him that there is no improvement in Ray's condition. She explains that he is soon going to suffer from the loss of mobility and speech. She suggests Ray have swimming sessions to use water as therapy for his muscles. After hearing the news, Eve gets sad to know that her husband's condition is faltering even more. She takes his wheelchair and walks outside the doctor's office. She sits down next to him, and Ray brings up the question of if she wants to buy that house for them. Eve still feels conflicted as she thinks spending all together for the house is not the right decision, but Ray tells her the pros about the house, and Eve finally agrees to buy the house for their family. Soon the family shifts into their new home, and Izzy goes to her new school. Izzy, with her charming personality, catches the attention of a popular schoolboy named Ronan who befriends her. She happily chats with him, and after school ends, she goes back home to help her family move their stuff into the house. By the afternoon, the family gathers inside the pool to clean it. They drain out its water and start scrubbing the pool. Izzy and Eve clean the walls of the pool, while Elliot and Ray clean the surface. Ray walks towards the drainage system and tries to unclog it with his hand. He suddenly screams and pulls his hand out, which is covered in blood. He hisses at the cut he has gotten from inside the drainage pipe. Elliot and Eve quickly rush to his help, but the family is shocked to see black, dark water gushing out of the drainage pipe. They quickly step back, afraid that the water might be dangerous. They get out of the pool, and Ray treats his wound. After the incident, the couple calls a pool water expert to know what is going on with their pool. The expert arrives and investigates the pool. He tells the couple that the water is from a spring present underground the pool. He explains that the water from the spring has a lot of health benefits, and the water can have wonderful effects on skin as well. The couple is delighted to hear the news, and Ray is convinced that it is his pure luck that they got this house with such a healing pool inside. The family then finishes up the cleaning process and fills up the pool for their pool party. They dive in the water and happily play around the pool. Eve uses some coins and throws them in the pool for her kids to retrieve them. Ray likes the pool therapy and gets happy that he is able to bond with his family, as well as have the water therapy for his body. Eve also feels happy to see Ray happy after so long. After a tiring day at the pool, everyone goes to sleep except Eve, who is reviewing the financial documents of the house. She checks the therapist reports and realizes that she has to pay a hefty amount to the therapist as a payment for Ray's treatment. After feeling exhausted, Eve gets an idea. She changes her dress to her swimsuit and goes out to swim in the pool alone. She delightedly swims around and suddenly catches a glimpse of her husband. She smiles and stops swimming. She turns around and complains to her husband that he scared her, but Ray is nowhere to be seen around the pool. Eve feels an eerie air around her and decides to end her swimming sessions. The family's cat, Cider, walks around the pool as Eve goes back inside the house and checks on everyone. To her shock, everyone is already in their deep slumber, and even Ray is sleeping in his bed. She asks Ray if he visited the pool while she was swimming, and Ray denies it. This shocks Eve, who clearly saw her husband near the pool. She simply tells Ray that they need to fix their pool lights. The next day, Ray feels something strange in his hand. He takes off the bandage on his hand and sees that the wound on his hand has completely healed. There is not even a single scratch on his hand that could show a sign that his hand was ever cut in the first place. Ray thinks that this is a miracle of the pool containing the spring water. The family notices that their cat is missing and starts searching for it, but they only find the cat's collar in the pool. The parents start worrying about their children's safety and decide to use a net to cover the pool. The same night, Eve notices something strange. She sees Ray swimming in the pool alone without anyone accompanying him. She is surprised to see that her husband's physical condition has changed so much. The next day, Ray and Eve visit the doctor, and Ray goes through different physical tests to check on Ray's condition. Ray performs well in each test, and the doctor delivers the news that she is shocked at how much Ray has managed to recover in such a short period of time. The couple becomes overjoyed by the happy news and thinks that it's all because of the wellness water in their pool that Ray is recovering so much. After Ray comes back from the doctor, he is working in the garage when Elliot approaches him and asks him to play fetch coin in the pool with him. But Ray is busy with his work and refuses the boy. Ray then draws a smiling face on one of the coins and tells Elliot to swim alone. Elliot goes back to the pool and sticks the coin on his toy. He starts playing with the toy and dives inside the water. He stays inside the water and plays with his toy. He notices a coin falling inside the pool. He quickly runs on the surface to go see who is playing with him, but he finds no one around outside the pool. He dives back inside and sees many coins falling inside the pool. Thinking it might be his dad playing with him, he happily gets the coins, but the coins keep getting closer to the drainage pipe. This time when he comes up, he hears a sound of someone calling for help. His father is nowhere to be seen, so he listens to where the sound is coming from. It's the sound of a little girl coming from the filtration pipe. Elliot swims closer to the pipe and hears the girl say that her name is Rebecca, the same girl who died years ago in the pool. Turns out that Rebecca's soul has still been trapped inside this pool all those years. Elliot moves closer as he hears Rebecca calling out for her mother. She offers to give Elliot's toy back to him and asks him to come closer. Elliot does so and tries to grab his toy, but before he can pull his hand out, a pair of black hands grabs his arm and pulls him inside. Elliot starts crying for help and puts all his effort into freeing his arm. Finally, he is able to break free from the ghost's grasp and runs inside. He tells his mother about the incident, who gets worried about her family's safety. He talks about the matter with Ray, but Ray simply shrugs it off and says that Elliot was probably just confused as he doesn't have any friends. Ray changes the subject and states that he is going to host a pool party for the weekend and invite all friends and family members. After the incident with Elliot, all the family goes to Elliot's baseball practice. To their surprise, Elliot keeps sitting out of the match. Elliot's parents encourage him and tell him to try giving baseball a chance. Elliot goes to the pitch and shows his parents that he has no talent in baseball. Just then, the coach spots Ray and asks Ray to give baseball a try. Ray tries to refuse, but his longing for baseball wins over, and Ray grabs the bat to give it a try. But after 2 strikes, Ray's confidence starts to falter. Ray starts remembering the pool, and the water's serenity calms him down. He takes a deep breath. And this time he hits the ball with so much force that the ball bursts open. The excellent shot sends the ball flying away towards the stadium light. Everyone is stunned from the shot and starts praising Ray for it. The family goes back home, and Ray feels very proud. He looks at the pool happily and thinks that it's the spring water that is helping him heal. At night, Ray and Eve have to leave for something important, and Izzy uses this opportunity to sneak her boyfriend Ronan inside the house. She asks Elliot to keep it a secret and calls Ronan over. The couple goes to the pool and starts swimming. Ronan is impressed by the house and gives the idea to play Marco Polo on the beach. Izzy agrees and closes her eyes. She waits for Ronan to say the Marco Polo words, but what she doesn't know is Ronan has already slipped out of the pool. But something keeps calling her towards it in the pool. Izzy tries walking towards the source, and suddenly a dark figure appears behind her back. She opens her eyes and finds no one around. She thinks it's Elliot trying to prank her, so she dives underwater. She looks around and sees that the bottom of the pool is very dark, and she can't seem to reach the bottom. Suddenly, the same dark figure swims towards her from the bottom and tries to pull her inside. Luckily, Izzy manages to get away from the creature and come to stop at the surface, only to find Ronan laughing at her. She quickly gets out of the pool and scolds Ronan for scaring her. But Ronan tells her that she was all alone in the pool. A chill runs down Izzy's spine, and she decides to call it a day. Ronan also runs back home, and Izzy goes back inside. Elliot guesses from Izzy's reaction that she witnessed something in the pool as well, but she denies it for the sake of the pool party her father is holding. On the day of the pool party, the whole house is bustling with guests. Even Kay has joined the party. Eve, who has also been disturbed by the pool, decides to ask Kay about the previous house owners. Kay tries to dodge the question and only says that the owners had their house for a lot of decades. She explains that once a little girl drowned in the pool. Eve asks if the girl's name was Rebecca, and Kay agrees. This makes Eve's suspicions come true. The baseball coach's son approaches Ray and asks him to sign the busted baseball for him. Ray signs it and asks if the boy wants to have some more fun. He enters the pool with the boy and lets him sit on his shoulders. They start playing water wrestling with another duo, and Ray's strength inside the pool helps him win the match. All of a sudden, the black liquid from inside the water drain starts to come out of the drain. The water goes straight to Ray and gets absorbed into his body. Ray gets possessed and starts going towards the deeper side of the pool along with the kid on his shoulder. The kid starts to drown and calls for help, but no one in the party notices it. Fortunately, the coach notices his son and dives in to help him. The kid is taken out and everyone notices that there are hand marks on his thighs. Meanwhile, Ray gets unconscious and everyone tries to wake him up. After he is awake, the coach takes his son away from him. Eve tries to stop apologizing to the family, but they tell her that they want Ray to stay away from their family. Eve finally snaps and tells her family that she is no longer going to let her family live here. She takes them and decides to leave in their car. Ray, who was fine just a minute ago, starts coughing out black liquid, and his veins begin popping out. Eve understands that the house is not going to let them get away just like that. She takes her family back in the house and lets Ray rest on the bed. She walks to her study room and decides to investigate Rebecca. To her surprise, there is a long list of people who have drowned in the very same pool. She decides to meet Rebecca's mother and find out the truth about the spring. She drives to a distant house where an old woman greets her at the door. She invites Eve inside and offers her a seat. Eve gets straight to the point and asks about Rebecca's death and its connection to the pool. Rebecca's mother is visually struck with the question, and she starts coughing. She stands up and goes to stop the window. Black tears swell in her eyes, which confirms that she also has been possessed by the pool's spirit. She explains that her son, Thomas, who was once diagnosed with a terminal illness, suddenly recovered and is now living as the U.S. ambassador. After Eve presses, the evil woman explains that the spring water was once from a wellness spring, which can grant a person their wish on the condition that human sacrifices should be given to the pool on multiple occasions. Then the woman then has a flashback of the day that Rebecca drowned. While she was drowning, Thomas heard her voice and tried to run out to help her, but the woman locked him inside, and Rebecca died. After Rebecca died, the woman looks out of the pool and her eyes turn black, showing that she was possessed at that time. At the current time, everything clicked to Eve and Lucy. The woman suddenly turned to Eve with black liquid oozing out of her. Eve gets scared and quickly runs out of the house. Back at home, Elliot hears the sound of their cat Cider coming from the pool and goes out to get her inside. He sees Cider sitting on a floater and tries to grab her, but an external force throws him inside and begins dragging him in the water. The cover on the pool starts closing, and Izzy noticed it at the right time. She even gets to the pool, and Izzy starts to roll the covers back. Eve quickly dives inside the pool and looks for her son. Inside the pool, the area is very dark and full of depth. She goes back and grabs a light and dives back in. She starts swimming to the bottom, where she sees her son at the bottom of the spring. She tries to take him back, but different ghosts and entities start appearing near her, scaring her even more. But she stays determined to take her son back. Outside the pool, Izzy runs inside and is about to call 911 when Ray suddenly appears and grabs her by the hair. He starts dragging her around the house when Izzy struggles and breaks herself free. She quickly runs away. But Ray doesn't chase her. He senses that his sacrifice is coming back to the surface and heads towards the pool. Meanwhile, Eve grabs her son and swims away from the entities. But when she looks up, she sees no exit from the spring. She desperately looks around, but everywhere is just darkness. She is about to lose hope when Rebecca's spirit approaches her with the smiley coin Ray gave Elliot. She throws the coin and the coin starts to float towards the direction of the exit. Eve quickly swims out of the pool and pulls her son out. She tries the resuscitation methods to save her son, but Elliot remains unmoved. Ray approaches her from behind, and Eve quickly asks for his help to save their son, but instead, Ray, who is possessed, grabs Eve by the neck and tries to strangle her. At the brink of death, Izzy hits her father's leg with his clutch stick. She starts beating him up and cries out for him to come back to her. Her screams make Ray remember all his life, from meeting Eva, to having their kids, and to them growing old happily with the family. Ray then spits out the black liquid and regains his consciousness. At the same time, Ray also spits out the water and wakes up. Eve thinks that her family is all right now and decides to run away from the house. But before they can leave, Elliot starts convulsing, and black veins pop on his body. Ray understands that the spring water wants a sacrifice, and decides to sacrifice himself for the sake of his family. He dives in and starts going towards the deepest end of the pool. The pool starts getting covered with black liquid, and after Ray's sacrifice, Elliot turns back to normal. The next day, the family drains out the water in the pool and fills it with sand to avoid anyone going near the pool again. Eve decides to live in the same house, so no other family comes there and becomes prey to the spring. She hands over a smiley coin to her son and hugs her family after the terrifying nightmare is over for them.